Well, then, I'd like to take a couple moments and talk a little bit about some Dewey misters. The Dewey mister people were nice enough to send me a couple of them, and I've been playing around with them for a little bit. And I'll have to say, they're a handy little bit to have around.
Oh, but Senor GrubbyCup, what do they do?
Well, they're kind of an open-topped airlift pump. It works on a very simple airlift principle. You connect it to an airline or to an air pump, and it blows bubbles in the bottom, which carries the water up, which sprays out the top. Now, one nice thing that I like about them is that they are very do-it-yourself friendly. They give you the way to spray the water, and you supply the airline and the air pump and the container and figure out how you're going to keep the rack on top and that. But it makes for a nice little do-it-yourself starter.
Oh, see, I think it would be good for starting coatings.
Yeah, I really like them for the do-it-yourself little cutting boxes because, one, they're really simple to make. You take your airline and your air pump and you connect it to the Dewey mister or Dewey misters, and you put them in a closed container that's got your nutrient solution in it, and you suspend your plants from the top, usually by making holes and then putting in little pucks or little baskets to hold the cuttings in. And it will keep the bottoms of the plant wet, but still with access to air. And given a little time and a little luck, they should root nicely.
Oh, see, I see.
And something else I appreciate about using them is that since they're sold as little individual pieces, if you want to make a lot of clones, you can make a device capable of starting 50, 60 clones at a time and use 5 or 6 of these Dewey misters at the bottom. But by the same time, if you just need a few clones, then you can use a single Dewey mister or maybe 2 in a 5-gallon bucket, and you can make your own little small cloner for relatively inexpensively, and you can make them, whatever size is appropriate for your need. Another thing I like about them is that you can rig up yourself a do-it-yourself cloning box, and then once those are started, you can use the Dewey misters as part of your regular hydroponic system and get double duty out of them.
Oh, see, I am a fan of the multitasking.
Now, there are a couple of things I like about them from a design perspective. One is that since it's using the air bubbles to push it through a rather large aperture, that means that it's much less likely to clog. A lot of the commercial cloners in that require that the water pass through a very narrow opening, which tends to get clogged.
Oh, see, a big paper clip is very helpful with that.
That's true, Sancho. With the Dewey mister, as I said, the nutrient solution doesn't have to pass through any really narrow openings, which means it has less tendency to clog. And that comes in really nice if you like to use organics, because organic nutrients tend to have larger particle sizes and are more prone to clogging. So this is a nice solution for that. Another thing that I really appreciate about them is that along with clogging, a lot of the cloning gizmos on the market in that are very prone to overheating and having heat problems. And part of that is because they use a water pump where the pump actually sits in the nutrient solution, which helps keep the pump cool. The problem with using the nutrient solution to keep the pump cool is it tends to make the nutrient solution warm. And in some instances, it can be warm enough to where it makes getting the cuttings to start difficult. By using an airlift pump to spray the water, The pump sits on the outside of the device and is air-cooled, which basically means that you don't have that motor, you don't have that pump sitting in your nutrient solution warming it up. So they tend to run a lot cooler than the water-driven type cloning devices do.
Oh, see. I see.
Anyway, so I wanted to say thank you to the Dewey Mister folks and looking forward to playing with these.
See the buds on the circle table. Thank you very much.